Welcome to the Deep Dive, your ultimate shortcut to being well informed on the topics that truly matter. Today, we're plunging into the latest in artificial intelligence. It's a field that's not just moving fast, but almost at a dizzying, kind of head spinning pace here in summer 2025. Our mission for this deep dive is really to cut through all the noise, the constant news cycle, and distill the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights from, well, a whole stack of recent reports and analyses. We're here to give you the surprising facts, the essential context, so you walk away truly understanding what's new and what's next in AI. Let's jump right in with what's probably the most anticipated news in the AI space right now. The strong rumors, the leaks surrounding OpenAI's next major model, GPT-5, the chatter suggests a potential August launch. And while a summer release was sort of expected, you know how it is, big models are often subject to delays. So if it actually drops next month, that's a really significant moment for, well, pretty much everyone following AI.
Yeah, it definitely is. And what truly stands out about GPT-5's potential is why it's such a notable leap for the everyday chat GPT experience. We're expecting some serious improvements, particularly more agentic capabilities.
Agentic capabilities, what does that mean exactly in practice?
Well, think of agentic as the AI becoming more self-directed. So it could break down complex tasks you give it, use different tools, maybe browse the web, run code, generate images, and even learn from its actions to achieve a goal. It's more than just responding to a single prompt.
Okay, so it's like it can manage a mini project for you.
Exactly. This means a user could potentially, say, generate images, conduct deep research, and write code, all from one single interaction point. It moves beyond the current need to sort of toggle between different models or modes for different tasks.
That sounds incredibly powerful, almost like having a research assistant built right in.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And speaking of its abilities, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman recently shared a pretty fascinating anecdote. He was on podcaster Theo Von's show, I think it was July 23rd.
Oh, yeah. What did he say?
Altman described getting an emailed question he didn't quite understand, so he put it into GPT-5, and apparently it answered it perfectly. He actually said he felt useless relative to the AI in this thing that I felt like I should have been able to do.
Wow. That feeling of being instantly outpaced by the AI, that's quite something. And it's funny, you often hear versions of that kind of story from AI leaders, like right before a big launch, don't you? Really sets the stage.
It does, yeah. That anecdote really highlights the broader expectations for GPT-5. Beyond those agentic capabilities we mentioned, we're looking at better coding abilities. That's a huge deal for developers. And crucially, a highly sought-after improvement, larger context windows.
Context windows, right. Remind us quickly what that is.
Sure. So the context window is basically how much data or information a model can remember or process when it's responding to your prompt. Think of it like it's short-term memory for the current task or conversation. ChatGPT developers and users are actively calling for this expansion as it allows for much more complex, sustained conversations or multi-step tasks without the AI forgetting what happened earlier.
Gotcha. And beyond just GPT-5, OpenAI's 2025. I mean, the pace of releases is just relentless, isn't it? It paints this picture of almost dizzying expansion. It's not just about building bigger, smarter models. It feels like it's about integrating AI across, well, every conceivable facet of our lives.
Yeah.
We've seen the hugely popular image generation tool. Remember all those Studio Ghibli-style images everywhere?
And the backlash that followed, right?
Exactly. And then they also released specialized reasoning models, things like O3, O4 Mini, O3 Pro, plus the Operator AI agent. There's a new education initiative with Microsoft, the announced AI wearable with iPhone designer Jony Ive, and even that rumored AI browser. It's a lot.
It really is. And what's truly fascinating here, I think, is that despite all this activity, all these releases, OpenAI has maintained incredibly strict message discipline around GPT-5 itself. We've seen very few leaks, really, outside of maybe a few cryptic references here and there.
That's interesting. A controlled rollout.
Yeah, it really shows a very controlled strategy for such a significant product launch, which, raises its own questions.
Like what?
Well, like whether such tight control, while obviously great for managing launch hype, might also mean less public scrutiny or independent analysis before a broad release.
Right. Are there potential downsides to that kind of closed development, especially for something as potentially impactful as AI?
That's an excellent question. It's always a trade-off, isn't it? On one hand, it lets them refine the product without, external noise or maybe competitors getting a peek. On the other hand, it definitely limits diverse perspectives on safety, on societal impact during those really critical development phases. It's something the whole industry is still grappling with, honestly.
Okay, so as we see AI pushing the boundaries with models like GPT-5, It's also crucial to look at how it's refining the core services we use every single day. Google, for instance, is reimagining how we access information. It's a really interesting blend of AI and more intuitive design. They're introducing this new web guide search experiment.
Ah, yes, web guide.
It's part of their search labs, which means, users can opt into these experiments if they sound interesting, and you can turn it on or off whenever you want.
Right. And WebGuide really uses AI, specifically their Gemini model, to transform the search experience.
Hmm.
What it does, basically, is it organizes the search results page by grouping pages that are related to specific aspects of your search query.
So instead of just a long list.
Exactly. It helps Google better understand what you're really looking
Yeah.
for beyond just the keywords, and then it links to other pages, other perspectives that you might have completely missed if you were just using a traditional linear Google search.
Okay, can you give us an example? Make it concrete for us.
Sure. It works incredibly well for those really open-ended search queries like how to solo travel in Japan.
Right.
But it also seems to handle more complex, maybe even multi-sentence queries pretty well. Like imagine asking it, my family is spread across multiple time zones. What are the best tools for staying connected and, maintaining close relationships despite the distance?
Okay, that's a complex need. So how would WebGuide handle that?
Well, for the user, the outcome is that each section of the search results will focus on one type of answer to your query. So for that solo travel example, WebGuide would likely display groupings like comprehensive planning guides, another section on safety tips, maybe links where people have shared their personal experiences, travel blogs, things like that.
Ah, I see. So it's curating the results thematically.
Precisely.
Hmm.
And this is a direct answer to that common feeling, that desire for not feeling overwhelmed by information overload when you're trying to research something complex online. It kind of curates the internet for you.
That sounds genuinely useful. Where can people try it?
Well, currently, it initially reconfigures the search results only on the main web tab within Google Search.
Okay.
But Google says that over time, the experiment will expand to other areas of search too, including the main All tab eventually.
Interesting. So it's a subtle but potentially quite powerful shift in how we'll interact with search results. Okay, we've covered general AI with OpenAI, search with Google. But this next development, well, really caught my eye. It tackles a problem of scale that just seems almost insurmountable. I'm talking about analyzing truly immense amounts of video data.
Ah, yes. Video is a huge challenge.
Right, because many AI tools now can summarize, say, a single YouTube video fairly well. But it becomes incredibly tricky, almost impossible, when you ask models questions about multiple videos or footage spanning many, many hours.
This is exactly the problem that Memories.ai, a new startup, is aiming to solve. And their ambition is pretty audacious. They claim their system can process up to 10 million hours of video
10 million hours.
by providing a contextual layer over all that footage. Think searchable indexing, automatic tagging, finding relevant segments, aggregating data, the works. It's a huge leap in video understanding, essentially making massive video archives, maybe security footage or social media feeds, as searchable as text documents.
That's incredible. Who's behind this?
Well, the company's roots are pretty fascinating. The co-founders are Dr. Sean Shen, who was a research scientist at Meta's Reality Labs, and Enman, or Ben Zhu, who was a machine learning engineer also at Meta.
Ah, so they have serious credentials in this space.
Definitely. And Shen's core inspiration, he said, was that when humans use visual memory, we sift through a large context of data. We were inspired by this and wanted to build a solution to understand video across many hours better.
It's almost like they're building an external searchable brain for video content.
That analogy of an external brain is spot on. And this idea certainly attracted significant investment. The company raised $8 million in the seed funding round, which was apparently oversubscribed because investors were so interested.
Not surprising given the potential.
Right. SUSE Ventures, for example, expressed strong interest in what they called long context visual intelligence. But interestingly, Samsung Next had a slightly different take, a different thesis.
Oh, what was their angle?
They see this solution being really useful for consumers, particularly because it can do on-device computing.
Meaning it processes the video right on your device, not in the cloud.
Exactly. And Samsung believed that Samsung can unlock better security applications for people who are apprehensive of putting security cameras in their house because of privacy concerns.
That makes sense. Less data going off device could ease privacy worries. That highlights how diverse the potential applications really are, from enterprise to consumer.
Absolutely.
So how does their tech stack actually achieve this? What's the secret sauce behind processing such an astronomical amount of video? Is it just massive computing power?
It's more than just brute force. Their process involves several key steps. First, they work on removing noise from the raw footage, cleaning it up, then compressing the important data efficiently. Then comes the indexing part, making it searchable using natural language queries, like just asking a question, and also enabling segmentation, finding specific clips. And finally, it aggregates that data to generate reports or summaries. It's a whole pipeline designed to make sense of unstructured visual information at scale.
Okay, that's clear. And what about the real-world applications right now? Where is this technology actually making an impact today?
Well, currently, Memories.ai is being applied in a couple of areas. Marketing companies are using it, for example, to look up trends related to their brands on social media, analyzing video content to see what resonates or identify what kind of videos they might want to make next.
Okay, market intelligence from video.
Right. And it's also being used by security companies, helping them analyze huge amounts of surveillance footage to, say, determine potentially dangerous actions or patterns by people.
Makes sense. And the future vision.
Dr. Shen has a really ambitious future vision. He talks about an AI assistant that could gain context on a user's life through their photos or maybe when they activate smart glasses.
Wow, like a life logging assistant.
Sort of. And he also sees the technology playing a role in training humanoid robots to do complex tasks learning by watching vast amounts of video or even helping self-driving cars remember different routes and scenarios. The possibilities, well, they seem pretty vast.
Truly fascinating stuff. Okay, let's shift gears a bit now to an emerging challenge in the AI landscape, something that's being called AI slop. I think we've all probably scrolled past some of it on our social media feeds, maybe without even fully realizing it.
Oh, definitely.
Simply put, it's large language model or LLM-generated low-quality images, videos, text, stuff that has, frankly, really started to take over parts of the internet, polluting various platforms. But here's the twist we want to talk about today. The world of cybersecurity is not immune to this problem either.
That's right. It's a really interesting and problematic intersection. The specific manifestation here is what people are calling AI slop bug bounty reports.
Bug bounty reports, so reports about security flaws.
Exactly. But these are reports claiming to have found vulnerabilities that do not actually exist.
Wait, what? Why would anyone submit a fake report?
Because they were created, or at least heavily assisted, by a large language model that simply made up the vulnerability, maybe hallucinated it, and then packaged it into a very professional-looking, plausible write-up. Vlad Ionescu, he's the co-founder and CTO of Runcible, and used to be on Meta's Red Team.
So a serious security expert.
Very much so. He describes the problem perfectly. He says LLMs are designed to be helpful and give positive responses. So if you ask it for a report, it's going to give you a report, even if the underlying facts it uses are completely false. The result, in his words, a lot of stuff that looks like gold, but it's actually just crap.
Wow. So security teams, who are already stretched thin, are now having to sift through what looks like legitimate bug reports, but are actually just AI-generated fiction. That sounds like a huge waste of time and resources.
It is, and we're already seeing tangible examples of this hitting real-world projects. The open-source security project Curl, for instance, they said they can smell AI slop from miles away now, and confirmed receiving fake reports.
Okay.
Open Collective, another platform, said their inbox is just flooded with AI garbage. And an open-source developer for the Cyclone DX project actually pulled their entire bug bounty program down earlier this year, specifically because they were receiving almost entirely AI slop reports.
Pulled the whole program. That's drastic. It shows how serious the problem is becoming.
It really does. It's a real drain on the very systems designed to improve security.
So how are the big bug bounty platforms, the intermediaries like HackerOne or BugCrowd, how are they responding to this flood of, well, high-quality digital junk?
They're definitely feeling the pressure and acknowledging it. Mikkel Prins over at HackerOne notes a clear rise in false positives. These are vulnerabilities that appear real, maybe look convincing in the report, but they're generated by LLMs and lack any real-world impact. He says this can create noise that undermines the efficiency of security programs.
Noise is the right word.
Yeah. And Casey Ellis from BugCrowd confirms that AI is, widely used in most submissions these days, which isn't surprising. But interestingly, he says it hasn't yet caused a significant spike in low-quality slop reports, specifically for BugCrowd's platform.
Oh, that's different from the others. Why might that be?
It's hard to say for sure. Maybe their initial filtering is different, maybe their community norms are different, but Ellis does add that he fully expects the problem will escalate in the future. So maybe it's just a wave that hasn't fully hit them yet, or they're managing it differently for now.
Okay, that divergence is interesting. But surely there has to be a way to fight AI slop with, well, with smarter AI, right? What are the emerging solutions here?
Absolutely. That's where things are heading. Ionescu, the expert we mentioned earlier, predicts increased investment in AI-powered systems that can at least perform a preliminary review and filter submissions for accuracy. Basically, using AI to spot the AI fakes.
An AI referee.
Kind of, yeah. And HackerOne actually just launched its new high triage system, HAI. This system specifically combines humans and AI during cut-through noise, flag duplicates, and prioritize real threats. Critically, human analysts then step in to validate the reports flagged by the AI, so it's a hybrid approach.
Human oversight is key there.
Definitely. But, this whole situation raises a really important, almost philosophical question for the future of cybersecurity.
Which is?
As hackers increasingly use LLMs to generate these fake but convincing reports, and companies increasingly rely on AI systems like high triage to filter and triage them, it really remains to be seen which of the two AIs, the attacking AI or the defending AI, will ultimately prevail in this ongoing arms race.
Hmm. An AI cat and mouse game. That's a fascinating thought. So what does this all mean for you, our listener? We've covered just an incredible range of AI developments in this deep dive today. From the imminent next-generation models like GPT-5 promising really unprecedented capabilities, to smarter ways Google is helping us navigate information overload, to these ambitious startups tackling the massive challenge of analyzing video data, and even this unexpected side effect of AI-generated content creating entirely new challenges in cybersecurity.
Yeah, and if we try and connect this to the bigger picture, I think these stories collectively illustrate not just the rapid pace of innovation, which is undeniable, but also the really dynamic, iterative nature of AI development itself. You see new capabilities emerge like sophisticated text generation, and they immediately create new problems like AI slop, which in turn demand new AI-driven solutions like AI-powered filtering. It's a constant cycle. It truly reinforces that idea that knowledge, understanding these developments is most valuable when you can see how it fits together and apply it.
Absolutely. And that brings us to our final thought for you to mull over. Considering how quickly AI is advancing, evolving, and even, as we've seen, generating its own form of slop, how does our own capacity for critical thinking, for information discernment, need to evolve right alongside it? How much more, in the future, will we find ourselves relying on AI tools simply to help us filter and make sense of other AI-generated content? It's a profound question about our relationship with this technology. Keep exploring, keep observing these fascinating developments, because, well, the future of AI is unfolding faster than any of us can truly predict.